Retirement isn't a finishing line, it's the starting gun. That calendar that was overflowing with tasks suddenly needs purpose. And the freedom that you wanted with retirement can feel oddly unstructured. Are you in the retirement red zone? Here are 5 surprises that many people hit in year 1 and the simple fixes that make the good stuff show up faster. Think of this as your practical playbook for enjoying life after work. Going from see you after work to see you all day is a real adjustment and probably the hardest, especially if one partner is used to calling the shots at the office. One of the best pieces of marriage advice I ever received was to not bring work home with you. When you stepped out of the office, use the commute home to reset and be present with your spouse. Well, now that you're both retired and at home with each other all day, it's extremely important to have a frank conversation, especially if one spouse was in charge of the home and one was at the office, because what worked at work won't work at home. Trade the org chart for a conversation about expectations, alone time, and who owns which task now that time has shifted. Are there some tasks that one spouse enjoys more than the other? Are you an organizer? Do you enjoy working in the garden? Do you like to cook? If you're used to managing people at work, please don't fill that void by trying to manage your spouse at home. Work together and talk through how to manage the home. Give each other daily breathing room rather than interpreting separate time as rejection. Because maintaining independence while both of you are at home together all the time is extremely important. Use this reboot as a time to rekindle your relationship. Agree on a few household lanes so no one feels managed, and plan at least one recurring thing that you enjoy together that isn't a chore or an errand. Maybe it's tennis or yoga or hiking and biking, or maybe it's building model sailboats or even painting. If you made it through the lockdown years, you've already practiced sharing space under stress. Bring that playbook forward with even more empathy and fewer assumptions. The first few weeks of retirement can feel like a victory lap. Sleeping in, long lunches, maybe a trip that you've been putting off. Then real life settles in. The retirement commercial on TV is not real life. You'll still run errands, cook dinner, fix things around the house that have been piling up, and wonder where the day went. The antidote is to create some structure. The difference is that you now get to choose that structure. Do you guys like to get up early and have a sunrise walk or run? Do you like to be active during the day and go to bed on the early side? Or do you enjoy sleeping in, getting a later start but heading out in the evenings with friends to see the sunset and enjoy some of the nightlife? Well, in the years leading up to retirement, start to sketch a simple weekly rhythm with a morning routine, 1 or 2 recurring commitments, and a personal project that matters enough to pull you out of bed each day. Treat your time like a budget, a few non-negotiables, a few flexible slots, and room to be spontaneous so the week has shape without feeling it's jam-packed. See the forest through the trees is more than a channel, it's a community. Get a private membership for just $2.99 a month and get perks like early video access. Click that join button to learn more. All right, for years, what do you do? Had an easy answer. Well, I work in finance, or I work for the government, or I own the local Ford dealership. But when the title drops off, your identity can get a little bit wobbly. There's no more work emails. There aren't any fires to put out. No one is coming to you to ask your opinion on the new company direction. And it can sting to watch the professional world move on without you. That doesn't mean that your value disappeared. It just means that you're between roles. Start building the next one early. Pick a project with a beginning, middle, and an end so you can swap quarterly goals for a finish line that you care about. Have you always liked woodworking? Well, build reclaimed farmhouse tables, or teach a class online, or even in person. Share your knowledge with the world. Use the local chamber of commerce to mentor someone in your field. You may even decide to take up part-time work as a consultant on your terms, not theirs. You're not abandoning purpose, you're upgrading it from default to deliberate. The confidence returns when your calendar reflects something that you're building, not just something you're avoiding. One thing work does give you is a built-in social contact. Hallway chats, client calls, coffee runs. Remove that from your life and the quiet can feel loud, especially if you downsize or move. And loneliness in year 1 is very common. It's not just you. Building a new network is never easy. so you can beat it with small repeatable touch points that stack up over time. Put a weekly standing coffee on the calendar. Join a class where the same faces show up. Say yes to more first-time meetups than feels normal, and be the one who initiates instead of waiting for invitations. If you thrive on teams, look for environments with shared goals. Acquire a hiking group, a community board, so you get camaraderie, not just company. Community doesn't arrive at your doorstep. It's something that you build on purpose. Another piece of advice I've heard from clients: don't just say no out of reflex. When you were working and had family commitments, you probably had to think long and hard about a quick day trip or being asked to volunteer at the local festival. Did you ever see that movie, Yes Man? Jim Carrey plays a man coming off a terrible divorce. He had a job as a loan officer where his days were spent denying people loans, and that bled into his personal life because he never did anything, afraid of the risk. But then he met a self-help guru who encouraged him to say yes to everything for a year. What happened? Well, his life completely changed. He met new people, he tried new things, and his life took him in directions he never would have imagined. So prepare to say yes. Your retirement finances aren't set it and forget it. You're now the paycheck, which means the first year is about converting a portfolio into an efficient retirement income that you can live on without stressing over every market headline. Decide the monthly number you actually need to spend. Then map which accounts fund it and why. Optimizing how and when that you take withdrawals from your nest egg can affect your tax bill, how much you pay for Medicare, and whether or not your Social Security is taxed. Now that you're retired, you no longer need that emergency fund, the funds set aside in case you lost your job. Instead, those funds should be integrated into your overall strategy. I do generally favor 2 years of assets in conservative investments like CDs or government bonds that you can tap without risk of selling while the markets are down. Track the irregular, lumpy expenses separately. Those roof replacements, a car purchase, helping a child with a down payment, or that big trip, so they don't masquerade as overspending in your monthly budget. The portfolio is the engine, but your withdrawal strategy is the steering wheel. Now, even the best plans meet real life. Maybe you thought you loved golf 5 days a week and you discover you're more a 2-day person. Or maybe a volunteer role feels more like a job. Or consulting creeps past the fun line. That's not failure, it's feedback. Run 30-day experiments, adjust it, and try again. Give yourself permission to be a beginner at something that you're curious about. The goal of year one isn't perfection. It's building a repeatable week that you're excited to live. Your first year of retirement can feel strange even if you plan well. And that's normal. Build light structure so free time feels like freedom. Communicate at home so closeness doesn't turn into crowding. And design a new identity on purpose. Engineer a community instead of waiting for it. And treat your finances as an active system that you drive with intention. Do that, and year one stops feeling like a cliff and starts feeling like what it is, the launch pad for a life that you're choosing. Do you own a business? Are you trying to optimize your financial planning? Well, you can get started working with me today by visiting celestialwm.com and clicking the Start Here tab to schedule an initial call. Still not sure that you want to talk? Well, head over to my resource center and learn more about my financial planning process by watching my 35-minute complimentary training. And check out this video next for even more ways to supercharge your net worth.